Hello my beautiful souls, welcome back or welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Pixies, I'm Addie, and today we're going to be reading some Reddit stories. This is a really short one, so this is, am I the asshole for calling out a line cutter at Costco? First off, probably, because it's really not that serious, but we'll see. I was at Costco and had just finished checking out when I realized I'd picked up the wrong item. I headed over to the supervisor's desk and waited behind a gentleman who was already there. A couple minutes later, a woman nudged in front of my cart, giving me an unapologetic wave. "I'll be quick, I just have a question," she said. I didn't hold back. "I don't give a shit. Wait in line," I told her. She looked at me like I was an alien and told me I was being incredibly rude. I followed up with, "Fine, pretty please then. I also have a question. What makes yours more important than mine?" When I went home and told my wife, she said I overreacted, and in retrospect, I shouldn't have cursed, but I don't regret calling her out. Okay. Listen, it's really annoying to have someone cut in front of you in line and whatever, and her nudging in front of you probably was inconvenient, but bro, it's really not that serious. Like, you definitely did overreact, so. The title of this next one is, am I the ass for making my boyfriend get rid of his toy collection? First off, I'm gonna say yes, because I like toys. Hold on a sec, actually. I am 18 years old, but also silly, cute, I love it. And don't get me started on these guys. Like, I love them. Like, I don't care how old you are, toys are fun. Toys are fun. Like, I got a toucan. It's weighted and it smells like lavender. Like, come on. Like, toys are fun for everyone. But let's give them the benefit of the doubt. My boyfriend has always called himself a kid at heart. He collects toys from quite a few different series. Wrestling, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, X-Men, anime, etc. Sounds like a cool dude. We're in our 20s. But they aren't for collecting purposes. They're all out of the box. And he plays with them. Okay, and? Whenever he thinks I'm asleep, I can hear him mimicking the voices of the characters or doing commentary, and I'll peek in the room, use the wrong spelling of peek, by the way, in the room and see him actually playing with them. That's another thing. It's a small apartment and he's got a whole room just for them. I mean, well, you also don't have to live with him. Yeah, he's got a whole room for them, and a whole dresser full of parts and cards. Their guns and weapons and such, but they're confined to that room. None of them are anywhere else. So what's the problem? When he comes home from work, it's one of the first things he does, plays with the toys. We get packages from eBay or Amazon almost twice a week, but he still makes time for me. Huh? Okay, so what's the problem? I keep forgetting to actually look at the camera, but like, seriously, what is the problem? I thought it was cute and endearing at first, but we've got a baby on the way and my friends are laughing at me. Sounds like you're dating a 12-year-old. Is having joy and whimsy acting like a child? Because honestly, to me, the misspelling of very simple words is more childish. With the baby, I want to use that room for something like a nursery. I politely asked him how he'd feel about getting rid of them, but he said no. I said something about giving them to charity, but he said a no again. Those are his things. He's not going to want to give them to charity. I understand, like, wanting to have a nursery for the kid because that's your kid. But, like, if you have another room that you can use for the nursery, then that's not really a big deal if he has his toy room. It could be also a playroom for the kid. I brought up that it could give us a lot of extra money if we sold them, but he still denied it. I asked about the baby, but he said we'll just budget it out like we always do. How he'll spend less on figures, but selling his collection is out of the question. I told him that they could make some other kid, a less fortunate kid, happy. Or, you know, his collection of toys could also save you money because now you have an abundance of toys already for your kid. Just saying. The teasing from my friends has continued. They all kept telling him he needs to grow up. word got to his father. According to my boyfriend, his father wouldn't let him buy anything like that after 12, but when he moved out, he could buy all the figures he wanted. It sounds like he was forced to grow up too fast, and you're doing the same thing to him. Ooh. And honestly, like, your friends don't sound like great friends because they're bullying you for being with someone who has joy and whimsy. So, yeah. I understand it's really hard with friends making fun of you, but if your friends are making fun of you and it's making you uncomfortable and, you know, you've had that conversation being like, hey, I don't really like you making fun of my boyfriend, it makes me feel bad, it makes me self-conscious about how my feelings for him. Like, if you've had that conversation with your friends and they're still doing it and they're not respecting you, then they're not your friends. So, anyways, I showed his dad pictures of the toy room and he was shocked. He got mad and said we're stopping that right now, that he wanted me to help him grow up. This morning, my boyfriend was sleeping when his dad came over. He grabbed a big trash bag and just started grabbing handfuls and putting them inside. When he was, also spelled badly, almost done, I told my boyfriend what was going on and that it was for his own good. He ran out and saw the room was empty and his dad with 2 big trash bags leaving with them. He tried taking the bag and begging him to quit, but he didn't. His dad said it's time to grow up. He started crying and sat down. This sounds like an awful father because, mind you, they're in their 20s, so it's not even, like, it doesn't even matter if they're in their 50s. Like, you can enjoy things, you can have hobbies, you can have interests, and have toys at any age. They're fun. Like, playing pretend is fun no matter what, and those toys would be great for your kid that's on the way. I mean, honestly, I don't think you guys should be together if you're so focused on them, you know, him growing up and becoming a man, because, like, that's just dumb. There's no such thing as growing up, it's just maturing, you know, and there's nothing immature about having fun and having toys and playing with them. So I would be crying too, honestly, because those are some of his probably prized possessions, things that he cherishes deeply, and, you know, help him with, you know, how much he was forced to grow up as a kid, based on what I've heard here. Like, when you're forced to grow up too early, you kind of lose that in you. I mean, I've been the same way. Like, I was kind of, due to some different trauma that I won't go into, I was forced to grow up really early, and now that I'm an adult, it's very hard for me because I feel more like a kid because I never got to experience things that I should have been able to experience at that age because I was forced to grow up so fast. And it sounds like he was forced to grow up at the same age, like at 12, like the same age as me. And at 12, you should not be having to get rid of all your toys. Like, I know that a lot of kids, like around 11 or 12, they decide they're too grown up for it, but like, you're never too grown up for it. And if it still sounds fun and cool to you, then just enjoy it, you know? And it's really, crying is totally understandable because all these things that he spent so much time and care for so much have just been taken from him without any notice. Like, it's awful. But he was yelling at us about how those are all he does, even though he had me.
Huh?
What is that? Those are all he does. I don't know what that means. Maybe that those are all that he cares about, even though he had me. Anyway, Dad agreed with me. You got your lady and a kid on the way. You don't need this shit. He was sobbing. His dad put them in his car and left. He said he's tossing them in the trash. I told my boyfriend I was sorry, but it had to be done, to think about the baby. But then he yelled at me about how he could throw stuff I collect away. He didn't actually throw them out, just a bluff. It was actually all donated to a thrift store. Was this truly wrong of me? Yes, it was absolutely 100% wrong and pretty despicable, actually. Honestly, I don't think you should be a parent. Like, I know you're pregnant, but I don't think you are fit to be a parent. He's more fit to be a parent than you are because, you know, he's actually in touch with his childlike sense of wonder. And, like, you're saying, oh, but they didn't throw them away, they gave them to a thrift store. It doesn't matter what happened, they're gone from his life and he cares about it. Like, that's so insensitive to just get rid of something. Like, I don't know. What's something that she could collect? Maybe she's really into makeup and she has a ton of really cool makeup, but you say that you shouldn't wear too much makeup because you're hiding who you are. So you get rid of and donate or throw away or sell all her makeup. She's not going to be happy about it because that's something that she cares about and she values. He cares about those toys and those collectibles, and he values them. So obviously he's gonna be upset, and it's incredibly, insane to think that by any means it's okay for you to just get rid of it. Without his consent, by the way. He did not agree to this. And again, I'm gonna say, you're saying, he needs to grow up, you're gonna be a parent now. Hey, so guess what? Having toys already when you're about to become a parent is great. I am a younger sibling, and all the toys that my sister passed down to me made it so I had so many toys, and it was awesome. I loved hanging out with my friends and playing with, I had bins of Barbie stuff. I had so much to play with, and it made me so happy, and I didn't care if it was passed down or anything. And you know what? It saved my parents a lot of money because we're middle class. It's not like we can afford the amount of toys that I had. But that kind of thing, if you already have it, you don't need to buy new ones for your kid. That sounds like a great thing. And guess what? His playroom can also be the kid's playroom. And that's great. Seeing that the kid's dad also wants to play is really helpful. Really helpful. I'm really mad about that one. Absolute nightmare. Next story. If it'll load. Am I the asshole for not thinking the joke my family played on my girlfriend was a big deal? Probably. A lot of the time when people say joke or prank, they're not being accurate because a prank or a joke is only funny if the person it's being played on or said to laughs or thinks it's funny. Also, anyways, I'm gonna just read the story. I, 25 male, have a girlfriend, 23 female, who is absolutely beautiful, but she does have a large facial scar. But, actually, I think that makes her look even cooler. I'm adjusting positions because I want to be comfy. My family often jokes about it. They have a super dark sense of humor. That's not, see, I hate to break it to you, but that's not dark humor, that's just insulting a normal thing that people have. Anyways, even though I explain it's just how they are and they don't mean any harm, she doesn't really want to be around them. No shit. I told her it was really important to me we spend Christmas with my family. We would all quarantine first and test. Oh, this is 5 years ago, by the way. We would all quarantine first and test, but it was important to me. She resisted at first, but after some urging from me, she gave in. She said I absolutely could not excuse their behavior if they made a rude comment about her, though. As she should, because it's not their rude behavior, it's just how they are. Then change, then learn. I'm a very bluntly honest person, but I know that sometimes my brutal honesty can make people uncomfortable. So I hold back a decent amount and I kind of sugarcoat things sometimes because I know that I don't want to hurt other people's feelings. Of course, I'd still probably say stuff that I probably might hurt someone's feelings, but I apologize and I change that behavior because that's the normal, decent thing to do. So we got there and it was fine for a while. Then my mom and sister broke out their matching ugly sweaters that had my girlfriend's face all over it. What? Okay, first of all, you said your girlfriend was beautiful, and then you said ugly sweaters with my girlfriend's face on it. Do you think your girlfriend's beautiful? Or is she beautiful, but there's this other thing? Hello? Anyways. They both laughed, saying my mom made them screen printed, and it was just a joke. My dad thought it was hilarious. I even chuckled a little because she's really beautiful, so it was ironic they put her on the ugly sweater. My girlfriend looked at me, and when I said they were just being ironic, she shook her head, got up, and left. Didn't say anything to anyone, just took the car and left. See, it's only funny and ironic if, the person thinks it's funny and ironic. Is it ironic when they've shown the behavior that they have made fun of her for her facial scar? Which is, the least offensive looking thing probably ever. I mean, what even is offensive looking or ugly looking, honestly? Like, hello? Like, I have stretch marks. I have a ton of stretch marks because that's my I have a ton of stretch marks because my body is human, and, you know, I recovered from an eating disorder and I gained a lot of weight. Like, not a lot, but like 30-40 pounds. So obviously I'm gonna get some stretch marks because I gained a lot of weight in a short period of time, or, you know, your body's always changing, so things like that are normal. A facial scar is like a normal thing that could happen. Like, I don't understand what's the big deal about it, and it's not a funny joke to put her face on an ugly sweater. She took the car and left. I called her several times and she didn't answer. The only text I received was, "You need to find your own way home." That pissed me off, and I called her a couple more times. The whole time my mom is upset because it was just a joke and she didn't realize my girlfriend was going to overreact like that. Overreact. Right. I told her that a warning would have been nice, but my sister agreed it was just a joke and my girlfriend was being a baby about it. Your family is absolutely insane. Like, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, because your family sounds like bullies. They sound like, no, they sound just evil people. I had another fight with my girlfriend when I finally got home, and she said I was an asshole for putting her in that situation. Yeah. And I said I didn't realize they were going to do that, and they were being ironic because she was beautiful. She said I let them treat her badly and was trying to make it her fault when it was my family who was acting badly. I said it was just a joke and that she was overreacting. So clearly it's not a your family thing, because you're saying, it's just a joke, you're just overreacting. Like, clearly you are siding with your family who did an awful thing. Because if your family did an awful thing like that and you weren't okay with it and you felt sorry and wanted to apologize to your girlfriend for your family, you wouldn't say she's overreacting and that it was just a joke. Because it's not just a joke, it's just an insult. She asked how it was supposed to be a joke. I said that it was just their sense of humor. I said I was sorry she was offended by the joke, but she ruined the whole day with her rejection. She said that no, them realizing she wasn't going to take their bullshit anymore ruined the day. Period. Because, exactly, this girlfriend is in the right. Like, what? We aren't speaking currently, but when a cousin called to wish me a Merry Christmas and asked how the day went, I mentioned what happened and he straight up called me an asshole for doing that to her. I don't really think I've done anything though. I didn't know they were going to do that, and it really was just a joke, and I think she's overreacting. Am I really the asshole here? Yes! Yes! Yes, yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. So, like, I don't think I've done anything wrong. You did everything wrong. Hello? She didn't even want to be around those people because she knows how bad they are, and you still forced her to go, and you treated her badly. Like, you're not any better because you're saying it was a joke. Like, it's not a joke. She asked you to explain it, and you said it's their humor. What's their humor then? Because that's not humor. I fear dark humor isn't that. Because there's a fine line between dark humor and just being awful, and they've way gone into the awful side. Am I the awful? I made a kid cry because he was littering. Okay, first off, just reading the title, honestly, like, making a kid cry, not great, but like, for littering, depends on how old the kid is. I don't know. But littering is bad, and I feel like you should reprimand a child for that and let them know that littering is awful. Let's see. My husband and I were in our car where we drove down to the local custard place. It's relatively popular, more so in the summer, of course, but even in winter in this tourist town, it still does decent business. There were only 3 people eating ice cream, all in their cars/trucks, as it was too cold to be outside. We don't like to bring our trash home, so we get out of the car and throw the empty cups into the trash cans outside the shop. As soon as my husband got back from doing that, I saw a boy, around 9 to 10, old enough to know littering is bad, get out of his truck in the back seat with his cup and some napkins and a spoon. He was 3 spots away from us, and he proceeded to go to the side of the parking lot where there was a bit of grass and a ditch for water runoff, and threw the trash in there instead of walking maybe the 30-40 feet to the trash cans. I immediately got upset, opened my car door, and told him he shouldn't do that and pick it up. He just went back to his truck. We were about to leave when the mom who was in the passenger seat gets out and goes to the side of our car and tells me I cannot yell at her son. I don't think I yelled, but I was loud enough for him to hear. She said I made him cry. I could not see the kid at this point, so I really don't know if he was crying or not. I said he should not litter, and she said I should mind my own business and that I must get off at yelling at young kids. Bro, what? My husband then drove away. He was embarrassed as he hates confrontation. He said I was in the right, but when I told a friend of mine, she said I should not try to parent other people's kids and I was in the wrong. Am I the asshole here? I hate littering, but maybe the kid had other issues and I shouldn't judge so quickly. My husband said a reason to not speak up is because of the parents who never know how they'll respond, and he's right about that. Edit, thanks for all the posts. I feel a little better, but do understand some more about stranger danger and confronting a child. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so honestly, I feel like not the asshole, but like a little bit bad, because definitely should say, hey, don't litter. Maybe it might have been your tone. I'm really bad about tone myself, but yeah, I would do the same thing, to be honest. I would, if I saw a kid littering, especially into like grass and runoff when there's a trash can right there, I'd be like, hey, don't litter, that's bad. There's a trash can right there, is probably what I'd say. And if the parent came back and confronted me, I'd be like, I'm sorry, I just didn't want people littering, but I do definitely understand the whole stranger danger thing and that you shouldn't meddle. Maybe if you really hate littering and don't want confrontation, just pick up the kid's trash and put it in, which I know is not your responsibility, but yeah, kind of just like about this one, just like a very, very light asshole, but like the lightest, just a little bit uncalled for, you know, but like valid, completely valid. Okay, this one sounds funny, so I'm gonna do this one. Am I the asshole for telling my best friend's stepbrother that he isn't a short king? Okay, my 25 male best friend, Oliver, fake name, 21 male, and I have been friends for 12 years. Wow. Honestly, we're more like brothers. I think it's funny, my girlfriend Naomi, 25 female, and I are, I think, pretty average for height. She's 5'7", and I'm 5'11". But Oliver and his girlfriend, Angela, 24 female, are on a whole other scale. Oliver is 6'7", and Angela is 6'2". That is so tall. I'm 5 feet tall, like even. And don't make any 6'7" jokes in the comments because I cannot deal with it. Anyways, but 6'7" is... that's so insane. I don't even think my ceilings are that high. Like, that's... I just, like, can't even. We rarely talk about our heights, but I bring this up because it's important. Oliver and his stepbrother, Jim, 22 male, don't have a great relationship. They didn't really have the chance to interact. Oliver used to live with his mom, while Jim lives with Oliver's dad and stepmom. Oliver would invite Jim to do stuff, but Jim never accepted. Anyway, Oliver's dad was having a little get-together yesterday, and he invited the kids that moved out and their partners, Oliver, Angela, Oliver's stepsister, 23 female, and her fiance, 25 male, plus Naomi, and I, and a couple other close friends. Jim kept coming over to me and telling me that short kings should stick together. He kept trying to say that he and I are short kings because Oliver is so tall, but we aren't. We aren't short. I'm 5'11". If I had to guess, I'd say he's around 6'1". Calling yourself a short king when you're 6'1" is, and 5'11", like calling someone a 5'11" short king, is absolutely insane. When I think of short king, I'm thinking like 5'5" and lower. But I mean, I'm also really short myself, but like, what's average height for like an adult male is probably like 5'8", 5'11", right? Around there. So anything taller than that, you know, would obviously be the opposite of a short king. Like 6'1" is tall. Like, hello? After Oliver and Angela, have I been saying Angela? I don't know. If I switch between the two, just ignore it. After Oliver and Angela, he's the next tallest. We're tall, Oliver just happens to be extremely tall. Anyway, the sixth, I can't really say that easily, lisp. The sixth time Jim started telling me that, I straight up said, dude, you aren't a short king, you aren't even short, you're taller than almost everyone here. And I guess that pissed him off because he didn't talk to me for the rest of the get-together. I got an Instagram message from Jim this morning about how I humiliated him in front of his family and how he wanted an apology. I just left him unread. I told Oliver about it and he said I shouldn't apologize. Am I the asshole for saying my best friend's stepbrother isn't a short king? No. Like, I feel like it's probably important to inform him, like, if this is how he's, like, talking to other guys and, like, being chill about, like, imagine going up to an actual, like, shorter guy and as a 6'1", like, tall guy and being like, us short kings gotta stick together. I would feel like it sound like you were making fun of them. You know, like how those groups of guys will be like, my friend wants your number, but they're just doing it to joke because they are awful people. It would probably give that actually short guy, like, it would probably make him really uncomfortable. Also, like, I'm sure a lot of men who are shorter are probably self-conscious about it because of societal standards. Same thing with women that are taller. So it's, like, literally so dumb. And I probably would have called him out too. And I don't think you even said it in, like, the worst way. Like, you didn't be like, you are an idiot and you're stupid, everyone go see this idiot. You know, you were just like, dude, you aren't short, you're 6'1", like, what's happening? So I think perfectly valid. Anyways, but yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna do today because I'm tired and I want to eat some chips or something. I don't know, I'm hungry. But anyways, I hope you had a great time and come back. I don't know, I'm not good at outros, so